going on, everybody? I'm Jabby Kaway, joined by Achara Kirk.
What's up?
We are continuing forward with Secret Invasion. The new episode just dropped, episode 4, Beloved. Thanks so much for joining. If you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing a cut-down version of our reaction because we can only show a limited amount of picture-in-picture, but if you want to watch the whole thing with us, no cuts, no interruptions, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JabbyKaway, or become a member of this channel. You'll get access to the full uncut reaction, but you will need your own Disney Plus subscription, so you can open up each episode in an adjacent window to our reaction. We give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown sync, and it's like you're watching it with 2 of your favorite pals from the internet. Now, if you're watching on Patreon or memberships already, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Here we go.
You devour me?
I volunteer. That mess that you created in Moscow that resulted in getting one of our best people murdered.
So, if he's a Skrull, then his body must be in that, like, download place.
That's true, and we haven't seen that.
No. Is she really dead?
A lot of people in the comments seem to not think so.
I know. Now we will find out definitively. Is she actually dead? Oh.
What?
She did some sort of genetic altering? Well, shit. Do you get to pick and choose? Woo!
Whoa.
Wow.
I guess I was wrong.
Oh, man.
Well, because of the way they killed off Cobie, Smulders, I'm just like, well, it's entirely possible they'd kill her off, too.
I know, right? But then they didn't.
2012.
Oh, some more going back in time.
As I was watching all the news coverage of those guys' heroics over in the States, strangest thing, I kept having this feeling that someone I know had something to do with getting them all together.
Nice de-aging.
I know.
And did you get what you wanted from this life? Even so.
I did.
Wow.
And what did you want?
She does have it committed to memory.
To call myself beloved. To feel myself beloved on the earth.
Oh.
Aww.
Cut to
Present day.
the reality of relationships. Sad and dour.
Oh, I want the beauty.
No hope. It's all downhill from here, baby.
What up, Rhodey? Traitor. Or is he?
What do you mean, traitor? If it's a Skrull, he's locked up somewhere.
Fury was fired a couple of days ago.
How'd that happen?
Shut up.
President Ritson must have found out he was in Moscow.
President Ritson doesn't find out that the sun's come up unless I brief him. I fired Fury. Okay?
Okay, thanks for coming clean.
If it was Gravik, then why does he need me?
What Gravik needs, what Gravik doesn't need, that's none of your concern. I'm the one telling you to kill Fury.
What?
Oh my God! What?
The betrayal.
Look, I'll make it easy for you. One of the 2 occupants of that lovely country manor.
Oh.
He's been broken ever since he came back from the blip. Oh, the old Fury. The one with power, the one with ability. Oh, this new one. He'll be dead from exhaustion and defeat soon enough.
Damn.
You don't need to kill him.
Wow.
Thanks, but still hurts.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait, do you think she is helping him or did he just bug her?
Telling me what you're not gonna do. I'm gonna show you what I am going to.
Oh, take him out right now. In the church.
I don't know yet. He probably just bugged the phone. Look where he's at.
Yeah.
He's at home, chilling.
Chilly. Depressed.
Take a look around, G. There's a reason Gaia isn't here with us.
She's the mole. I've already taken care of her. Remember, we want him to think it's the Russians.
What a load to find out about your wife.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That is super rough.
Just playing you this whole time. No, but the feelings were real. No, you was playing me, ho. It was all for a scheme.
The reason I'm with you now is because with you, Dad, it's the only answer to the question of where I belong.
Aww.
What is your plan for finding our people a home? Because Gravik has already implemented his, and it works.
We take down the insurgency. You, me, Fury. Once that's done, we go to the president. And we have a big bargaining chip. Just saved your planet. Give me a little something in return. We just keep contributing. Show them our hearts. They will see us.
Is that a fantasy, though?
You're delusional.
Yeah. Do you not know humans?
That's not who we are. And that is not who I've become.
So what does she want? Just out of the skin? Hello,
Yeah,
humans.
yeah,
Here we are,
she
loud
just
and proud.
Wants to be who she is.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, it sucks to have to pretend all the time, you know?
Yeah.
To hide.
Yeah. Okay, she didn't know about that conversation. He was eavesdropping because she didn't come in looking for him. Like, yo, okay, so how do you
No.
feel about what just went down in the church?
He let her know that he's here.
Yeah.
Of all the dumbass, wrong-headed, reckless things I've done, you are by far and away greatest mistake.
Oh.
Wow.
Even now, as I sit here knowing you plan to kill me with that pistol of yours, I don't know that if I had a chance to do it over again, that I'd do anything different.
Yeah.
Would you tell me the story about how you chose her?
Dr. Priscilla Davis had a congenital heart defect. She was keeping it a secret, didn't want the people she loved gathered around for months, watching her die in a hospital, looking for someone who would slip your defenses.
Oh, wow. It was a long con.
One day the doctor came in and told me that it would be just a matter of hours. I decided to just come out and ask.
You asked if you could assume her life.
I asked if she wanted to fall in love. And I told her about you. She made me make her 3 promises. 1, that I would bury her at sea, which I did. 2, that I would continue to be a daughter to her parents.
And you've also done. 3,
That I would never hurt you.
Aw.
to feel
Myself, beloved, on the earth.
Damn.
She never fired.
Oh.
Or he let himself
I'm
get
not
shot.
sure if this means we should get divorced.
Oh! They both fired at the wrong place. Hoping the other one was going to get him.
Oh.
Whoa. What?
Fury, what the hell? Memory serves, I shit-canned you into oblivion a few days ago.
I didn't like the way we left things between us the other day. Us brothers gotta stick together, you know what I mean?
And you thought you'd demonstrate that by breaking and entering.
I wanted to share my favorite liquid lunch with you. Pappy Van Winkle.
This the real thing?
$5,000 worth of 24-karat liquid gold.
Wow. Drink up, sir.
There are Skrulls inside the U.S. government.
This again? Skrulls in my security detail, Skrulls in the U.S. government. They're just Skrulls.
No, it's you. It's you.
That there is a Skrull mole very close to the president.
How close?
As close as you and I are right now. Closer.
Have you figured it out yet?
All you got to do to keep my mouth shut about all this, give me my job back.
You mind if I make a counter?
Oh,
We're
there
drinking.
it is.
Oh, what? Did he put something in it?
You see this all right? Oh, that's bad. And that's you.
That's graphic.
Is that really what you're gonna go with? At your trial?
How long does that poison take to kick in?
I know, right?
What I can have is the rest of this pappy, because baby, this is fire. Now, tell you what, why don't you hobble your ancient ass on out of here before I have you defenestrated?
Fenestrated. That's a fancy word for being thrown out of a window, I think.
I mean, they got attacked by a purple-headed dude named Thanos. I feel like people might be accepting of the possibility there's an alien inside the White House.
True.
Location tracker.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh. I thought it was going to make him pass out or something.
Yeah, me too.
The key thing about the Russians is you have to project strength. There's an old Lenin quote, Vladimir, not John. When you find flesh, you push. When you find steel, you stop. You gotta be steel, sir.
Colonel, can I ask you something?
Absolutely anything, sir.
Did you pre-game for our bilateral with the Russians with a half bottle of bourbon? Let's make sure the Colonel here has a large coffee for the road.
I was wondering why he was looking at him funny. I completely forgot that he had a whole bunch of alcohol.
We're in transit to the summit. Citadel is in position number 4.
Oh. Yeah, I think you're right. He just gave away their exact position.
They didn't even try to maneuver out the way of that.
Uh-oh, I hope the president was wearing his seatbelt. Oh, he's just chill.
That was cool. He's just hanging out. I wish they gave him a Rubik's Cube to play with while he was hanging out just waiting for it to go.
Wouldn't it look sus that Rhodey's car was not attacked at all?
He just has to shoot himself in the arm.
What?
Nice shot.
He just took down a helicopter.
It's Nick Fury, baby.
Whoa!
Damn, you had that the whole time? I'd have started with that shit.
I am Groot.
Fury?
Cover up! Hold it, coming, son!
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, those cars are reinforced.
Yeah, they are reinforced.
So how is he gonna get in there? How are they gonna get in there and get the president out?
Ooh! I bet he does not have super healing powers like his daughter.
He's a bloody alien! He's trying to get to Ritson! No! Hold your fire! He's with me! He's with us!
Oh, good. Thanks for listening. Yeah. I was really concerned.
It was super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Convince that guy. But I mean, like I said before, weirder things have happened on Earth up to this point.
That's true.
So Nick Fury says he's with us. I think you just believe
You're just
him.
like, yeah, okay, he's with us.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a talking raccoon as part of the Avengers.
Exactly.
So.
Talos, hang in there. I'll be back for you.
Oh, jeez.
I got my own ride.
Oh, nice. Like Knight Rider. Oh, I thought I was going to, like, drive up.
Wait, is that guy... I don't know. I'm concerned.
No, they're working together. See, humans and Skrull can get along just fine.
I don't know. What if he's...
I said, put him down now.
Oh no! Gravik!
Oh man, I was wondering about him if he had the healing properties as well.
He has everything.
Yo, if I had those kinds of healing properties, I just go out there butt naked, start launching some Groot arms.
Oh god, what? You're gonna leave him behind? What if he still has a pulse? Don't you want to check?
Is that really the end of the episode?
Are you gonna end every episode with someone dying?
Wow.
I'm upset.
Cool that his wife didn't try to kill him.
Yeah, I love that stuff with him and his wife, like them in the past and setting up that beautiful poem.
Mm-hmm.
Like poetry is great because it expresses things in a really succinct way, or it can in this case, like feelings that are really big. And that was a beautiful way to, let us know about their relationship and the depth of their love for each other.
I just found it slightly amusing that you were touched by the third request. You can't hurt him. And it's like, you're like, oh, and I'm like, Achara, you're You're dealing with someone who's infiltrating someone's life as an alien under false pretenses in order to be a spy. What's the awe about when she's a spy? It's like it's all predicated on false ideas, right? I mean, maybe there were some real feelings.
The feelings are real. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay? And
so you'd be cool with it?
This woman...
You'd be cool with it?
Shush. This woman who didn't even know him, heard about him, and thought that he sounded like a pretty stand-up, cool, good guy. I almost feel like she fell in love with him as well, and then she was like, okay, fine, you can borrow my body.
No, I'm not taking anything away from, obviously, like, it goes with it. I'm glad they didn't actually say it out loud of the feelings were real, right? Like, yes, it was a job, but the feelings were real. That's like a very classic cliche thing to put in the script, and they left it out. I'm happy about that. It doesn't change the fact that he was being lied to.
Right, and that's what hurts.
It kind of undermines the whole awe factor, is all I'm saying. That's the only reason.
I choose love. I choose awe.
Okay. I choose awe.
Because anything else is just heartbreaking, more heartbreaking. I don't know if it's more or less, but it's all heartbreaking, right?
Yeah.
And I loved that scene as well when he was overhearing the conversation that she was having with Rhodey, kind of hearing the things that she was saying about him, that, you know, he's just a weak old man now, basically, and he'll just die off by himself, and hearing about how this was the mission or whatever all along. And it's heartbreaking to hear that from the person you've built your life with and the person that you love.
Right. I think he's smart enough to know what she was trying to do. He's smart enough to understand that she really does care about him, and everything she was saying was she wanted to keep him alive. She didn't want to kill him because she actually does care about him.
Sure.
And any utterance of he's weak, he's not the same of who he used to be, etc.
I bet it still hurts though.
Probably, but I think that Nick Fury is smart enough to know that a lot of that was said in order to keep Don Cheadle, off her back, so that he can be left alive.
Sure.
Rhodey, not Don Cheadle. And so it was surprising to find out that underneath that skin that he's actually a she.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I was a little bit like, yeah.
I think that I could be wrong, but there has been some essays and video essays on YouTube talking about the Matrix and what the symbolism of the Matrix was and what the initial intention was, especially given that the Wachowskis both became female. I'm just wondering if there's any kind of conversation that this is supposed to elicit in the same vein.
Yeah, I don't know. All I can think of is that
they're talking about hiding, talking about not being themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking about how, for me, if I had to then, act like a man, I probably could, but there are certain things that, you
do it pretty well naturally.
Exactly. So I don't think it would be a stretch. And so, I think I could do it, but it would just be a little bit uncomfortable to not be yourself all the time.
Sure.
And I think that's why Gaia's like, well, don't you want to be in your skin?
Do you think there's lots of people watching this now who are like, you know what? I feel so different about this whole transgender thing now.
Probably not.
I don't know.
I don't think this show is going to change anyone's mind.
Hey, it could. I think that the point is oftentimes when you have people who are on the fence about the idea and they could go one way or the other, they're teetering, then you're struck by something like this, assuming that it strikes a chord with you.
Yeah, if it hits you.
Yeah, if it hits you in such a way where you're like, oh, what's that, feelings?
You have empathy, right?
Then sure, yes.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Because it's not nice to hide who you are.
Right.
Although this whole ending on another death thing is kind of annoying me, because in the back of my brain, I'm like, you are potentially going to completely undermine this death next episode and bring him back.
I hope they do, because I like him a lot.
I like him a lot. I want him to come back. But I also want deaths to mean something.
Sure. It is a little bit unfortunate. I just realized that is this fair to say? Let me think. I'm probably speaking out of my ass here, but you guys correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. The first transgendered character they have shown us, if that is worthy of being called transgendered, is a bad guy. Has murdered Talos.
See, I wouldn't.
You don't call that transgender?
I wouldn't consider that.
That's just someone hiding?
Yeah, I would consider that wearing a costume. It's like I could put on a mustache and lower my voice and like flatten my boobs a la Shakespeare in Love and be like, hi, I'm a dude now,
Oh, Shakespeare in Love. Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know maybe it is.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's obviously the conversation is designed to elicit. So we're talking about it now, okay, Disney? Jeez, I'm confused.
Your gender, or a Skrull's gender, they have no limitations on who they can turn into. You know what I mean? They could literally just be anyone. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Who knows how far back this plan goes, though? I mean, like, because obviously, okay, that if Don Cheadle's character, Rhodey, has been a Skrull the entire time, that means some ages back, this female Skrull decided to be a dude. But you'd only elect to do that if there's a purpose behind doing that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess Rhodey's always been pretty high up in the military. And now he's even closer to the president. He's like the president's right-hand man.
I'm trying to understand like something that hasn't been fully explained yet. I guess is what I'm saying. His character's been there from the beginning of the saga, you know? And so it's like, okay, why does a Skrull, who is a woman, elect to be a male human?
Because she was assigned it.
Because she was assigned by whom?
By Gravik, or who? Well, if it was really, really far back, maybe it wouldn't have been Gravik because Gravik was a child.
Exactly.
So
that's the question I have. Is like, okay, so why? You know what I mean?
She was given orders. Maybe.
By whom? That's all I want to know. Is it by Talos? Like, who did that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I want to know. That's an important question to answer because did Talos know? And if he did, how come he never said anything to Nick? That needs to be explained at some point. Now that we have confirmation of, like how long had... I think the first question to answer is, has Don Cheadle's character been a Skrull the entire time?
Right.
Like all the way back?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll answer it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure we're not the only ones who are kind of going, wait, what? Hold on.
Next week kicks off with a flashback. Of when Don Cheadle was a baby, or she was a baby, and hadn't been indoctrinated into this scenario. And then we find out that Gaia somehow gave her pops some healing powers. Like, here, put this in your body. Don't ask any questions. Just eat it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you did a quick IMDb search, you could see just how many episodes Ben Mendelsohn is in.
I'm trying not to do that.
I know.
Yeah.
The desire is there to just be like, did he make it? Is he okay?
But even if he shows up in the next two episodes on the credits, he might not actually be there. It might be a flashback.
That's true.
So
that is entirely possible. So there is no way to know for sure, except for tuning in next week for the next episode.
Exactly. You know, one of the things that I had mentioned I think in the first episode, and I think it was about this, was the effects, right? It felt like the handling of this was on par with what you get at the cinema. That was a comment I had made, I feel like, early on about this show. And this episode did not give me that same feeling, particularly in the area, in the way of action.
Yeah.
Like it
felt like TV action.
It felt more like TV action.
But that's fine. We're watching a TV show. So can you forgive it?
No, I forgave it the moment it was happening. I'm just making a comment about it.
Yeah.
Saying I wish that it, was more, but I get it. It's a TV show. I understand. It doesn't mean I don't wish for more.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Disney, spend that budget.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the alcohol, I was a little bit surprised that Don Cheadle just went for it. The Skrull just went for the drink, it being so hesitant with things.
Yeah, I think maybe that's kind of an interesting one to kind of try and dissect. But maybe they had just kind of gone, you know what? I'm winning anyway, because it wasn't until they said. They played the trump card of, hi, I have you on video, and multiple copies, mind you. So even if you get this one, I've made multiple in various locations of you killing Agent Maria Hill.
You know what, though? There might be a hint in there about how long Rhodey's been a Skrull, because he was face-to-face with the president and didn't even have the sense to have a mint in his mouth before having that face-to-face. What kind of person has been around humans for that long and doesn't realize the etiquette of, not going to work with alcohol, intoxicated? You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm more inclined to think that Rhodey hasn't been a Skrull the entire time. Skrull.
Yeah, you said skull.
I said Skrull.
Oh, I heard skull. I'm sorry.
Skrull. I have difficulty saying words these days. I think my tongue...
I think the word Skrull is just hard to say.
Skrull.
Yeah.
Skrull.
Yeah, you probably said it right and I misheard you. Anyway.
Skrull.
Let's move on, please.
Skrull.
Yes.
Super Skrull.
He hasn't been a Skrull the entire time.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I want to believe that. If they show us or they tell us that he's been a Skrull the entire time, then I'm literally going to be like the mind blown emoji. Just like,
Yeah.
my brain just exploded.
Yeah. How did you feel about the length of the episode? It was quite short compared to...
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It did what it set out to do. And I think my favorite parts were the scenes with Nick Fury and his wife, because I appreciated that they just let the scene breathe and they weren't trying to like cut it really quickly. And I loved watching them act.
Yeah.
Because they're both so good.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't like it?
I did and I didn't. I do like the idea of allowing the actors the space to do this scene work and it breathes. I think that it's a little bit difficult with this only because I know what I'm being shown is going to come back. I know what I'm being shown is only being shown to me for a reason. And with it being short, it's like that reason came back so quick. It was like maybe 5 minutes later that we had the other half of that.
You remember that poem that you loved?
Yeah.
It's back.
You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
It was like super, super fast. And it almost felt like a short film. I did kind of wish that the episode was longer to allow me to like, I don't know, experience that. I know how it works with these kinds of things. You know, if there's a heavy action thing, then the episode ends up usually being shorter. You know, I don't know why that's the rule. That happens a lot. You know, if there's a heavy action, it could end up being a shorter episode.
Interesting. I hadn't made that connection.
I think that's what it is.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
So that's the only thing that bothered me about it is just like when I was watching it, I'm like, okay, I'm being told data that's it's gonna be something just like this in just a couple minutes, is what I felt, and then it was. That's all. You know.
Well,
so,
it worked on me.
And it was a little bit hammy, the whole thing.
I love it. Okay, I love the melodrama. Give it to me.
But you know, to be fair, you know,
I love the romance.
I really wanted to buy into their relationship. I just didn't for some reason. I wanted to feel things about that. Like I wanted to feel sad for Nick Fury beyond the idea of, man, that sucks. You know, I wanted.
Well, I felt sad for both of them. Like for him.
I don't feel sad for her. She was a lying hoe.
No, for him, it's like.
I'm just speaking in jest, by the way. I don't actually mean that when I use that word. But like, she was lying to him.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel bad for him for all the obvious reasons. Like he was lied to, he was betrayed. The questions probably running around in his head are like, is this everything that I felt in this relationship a lie? Was anything real? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then with her, I feel bad for her because like it's complicated, and I think she probably did feel a lot of things for Fury. And then to ask that vulnerable question of if it had just been me, you know, like in my skin, because she had chosen this body because she knew that it was just the type of lady Nick Fury might potentially fall for. Like to put herself out there and ask, would you have loved me even in my own skin? And him not being able to give an answer is also heartbreaking.
I don't think he wanted to dignify the answer. I think that what we're supposed to take from that is Nick Fury would have said yes had she asked him under appropriate pretenses. You know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I think that had she just asked him like during the course of their marriage, he would have said, of course, yeah, be yourself now. Be yourself all the time.
But then why was she never? Why was that not their relationship?
Char, that's a whole part of the thing that we're not going to get exposed to ever. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know.
The thing is, like, you can assume whatever you want about, you know, what's happened over the course of the 10 years, a few of which he wasn't even there. He was up in space.
Oh, that's true.
So
not only that, but he was blipped away for 5 of them.
Yeah, so how deep is this marriage really?
It's a sham. It's a sham.
No, but
Let's
like
get a divorce.
She could have.
We tried to kill each other.
She could have asked him straight up during their relationship, and she never did. She made an assumption that he didn't want that, and he was like, "Well, I guess she just likes being in her human form." Duh. And that was that. You know, she should have asked him earlier.
It's been like, hey, I'd like to live my life as a Skrull, so you better get used to loving green skin.
So my assumption is his feeling was, I would have loved you anyway, but I think he wouldn't have. Whatever Nick Fury was in 2012 versus 2023, those are two different people. I think 2012 Nick Fury would never have gone for her had she showed up as an alien. You know, in 2023 he would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
You know, he's been around a while.
Never know, though.
But I was kind of interpreting the whole bit with when Nick Fury goes, "No, he's with me." And the cop's like, okay. I thought that was something else. I thought that was supposed to be like a symbolic moment of like humanity having hope.
Well, that's what I thought too, because when Talos was having that whole conversation with Gaia, and he was being, just so naive and optimistic and idealistic, like if we just show them who we are, like we're so pure of heart or whatever, and we just keep helping people, then they're gonna want to help us. And I'm like, well, Gaia was like, oh, you don't know us, but I was also like, Talos, that's so cute, but you don't know people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit cynical in that regard, but I'm like, okay, fine. You can be helpful, and some people might want to help you out, but unfortunately, a lot of people, and maybe people in power, are just happy to use you when they can, but then not want to give you anything back.
I have a question, and I want to wrap it up with this. I have a question to the audience and to you.
Okay.
How is it for you buying into the premise that Earth would not accept the Skrull living amongst them, given everything that has happened thus far? I mean, it wasn't that long ago we had a Doctor Strange movie with this like alien creature in the streets, like scaring people and whatnot. And then Doctor Strange just flies in and goes ha-ta-ta-ta-ta and cuts it in half, and takes its eyeball out. Like, humans are seeing weird shit that's a Tuesday. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Is it going to be that weird? Have you been to New York? Is it going to be that weird to have some Skrull living amongst you in Los Angeles and New York?
Okay, so theoretically, probably not. However, I guess because a lot of Skrulls have been involved in terrorist activity, if that were ever to come out, people would immediately be wary. Secondly, it's one thing to be accepting of people who have green and purple skin and walk among us. It's like, cool, I can identify you as a Skrull, and I'm used to seeing like all different races and like different alien races and stuff on Earth now, fine. But I think the scary thing is that Skrulls can literally imitate anyone. And so I think because of that, maybe people would be immediately distrustful.
Sure. I kind of wish they gave us that show where it's like 10 years after this, whatever, not 10 years later, like Nick Fury is even 10 years even older than he is now, but that the story, whatever the premise is 10 years later than whatever the events are here in this moment, which is their Skrull are already trying to integrate as Skrull, and it's going really bad.
It's going really badly.
That would have been interesting, and it would have been akin to District 9, where you have these creatures, and the main difference being what you just said, which is they can morph, they can be humans, and they can infiltrate. And so you have these two warring factions, the ones that are like really good and actually like are trying to protect the good name of the Skrull, and the others who are making a bad name for the Skrull.
Yeah.
That would have been really interesting. But that's not the show we're watching.
Instead, we're having a secret war.
Yeah, no, but that still would have been a secret war. That's all I'm saying.
No, but like no one, apart from people in like high positions of power, the everyday person on Earth has no idea that this is happening all around them.
I don't know. I hang out with you every day. If I found out that everybody at the upper echelon of society and the Masons were all occupied by Achara lookalikes, I'd still be freaked out. You know what I'm saying? And I see you all the time. It'd still be freaky.
Sure. Okay.
What? All right. Anyway.
Yeah, that was fun.